Now you know how to interpret quotes. Let's do just a quick warm-up on currency conversion before we go into proper forward calculation. Yeah. Let's take, for instance, let's say a UK company. A UK company needs, just trying to form this question for you, just to warm you up. Let's say it needs to pay $100,000. So you see, it's a UK company, so which means its transactions should be in pounds. Now it has gotten involved in foreign currency. It needs to pay $100,000 and it needs to pay it now. So we're not talking of forward, no, nothing in the future. Let's just talk about now. I just want to test your understanding of quote system, right? I need to explain to you. We'll get into forward later. So we need to pay $100,000 now, and we have our spot quote because it's it now that we need to do it. Yeah, spot quote has been given to us at $1.52 for pounds plus minus 0.001. Right, you can see now they've given you in the form of spread. Now, trying to give you a standardized way of approaching your questions. Yeah, the first thing is get your standard quotes. Yeah, if you are lucky, if they're giving you, then you can skip this particular step. But unfortunately, they didn't give you a standard quote. They gave you in a spread format. So, which means you need to deduct 0.01 to get a buy rate, and sell rate you need to add dollar pounds. To make it for the small place, we can add 0 behind. It's fine. Right? So we have our standard quote. Now, we now need to get to our interpretation. Yeah. Interpretation. Which is where is very critical, and where you need to go back to is taking you far. Yes, because it's very important, this place. We need to remember that our quotes, is that bank will buy £1 for $1.5190 and will sell £1 for $1.5210. The question is, which rate do we need to use? And that is why we need to now learn another interpretation, which is determining the need of the company. So we know the interpretation. The third one is we need to determine company's need. We're fine with interpretation, yeah? If I need to write it for you, it's exactly what we said. What we are saying is that bank will buy £1 for $1.519, and bank will sell £1 for $1.521. Yeah, we have that interpretation. Yeah, buy £1 means that they will collect. Yeah, you remember when you're buying something, you're going to collect it. So bank is going to collect £1 and will give dollar. Yeah, 1.159. Yeah, bank will give £1 and will collect $1.521. Yeah, so you need to understand, because where the confusion comes from, that's why I say you need to stick to the interpretation, yeah, very well, and stay consistent with it so that you don't get confused. This code system. Now we need to determine the company's need, which is also very important. What is the company's need? It's always in the question. Company needs to pay $100,000. So which means company needs dollars. So company needs to buy dollars. And where is it going to buy from? Remember, is always between company and the bank. So company needs to buy dollar from the bank. So company needs to buy dollar from the bank. Yeah, but remember, we said we must always interpret our currency using the second currency. Remember this rule, second currency. If you check this quote system, dollar is not our second currency. Dollar is a false currency. So which means we need to go one more step in this interpretation in pounds. What does the company gonna do in terms of second currency? It means the company needs to sell pounds. Remember, it's when they sell pounds that they will collect what they need, this dollar. So company needs to sell pounds to the bank. So company needs to sell pounds to the bank. Because which means company will give their pounds away and collect dollars from the bank. So if company needs to sell pounds to the bank, what is bank going to do? It means bank. Now check which of this is bank doing. It means bank is going to buy the pounds. That is it. And that's the final solution. The biggest order that needs to be closed. Because once you get to the point that you know that bank is buying pounds, this is it on top of here. Which means bank is buying pounds, and that will be a buy rate because they will buy cheap so that they can sell higher. And in that case, bank will be using the buy rate. So your rates automatically become 1.519 because that's the buy rate that needs to be used. $1.519 for £1. Because where they miss it is they don't know which rates to use. So now that is clear. So we now know that $1.519 is equivalent to £1, and we need $100,000, and that will be equals to cross multiply 100,000 times 1, then divided by 1.519, and that will give us 65,832.79 pounds. So that is the amount the company needs to be able to get this $100,000. What I've shown you here is how to know the rate that you need to use. Let's look at the question on the left side. So we've looked at the theoretical part of the forward transactions, the quote system, and all of that. But it's good to now use this question as a practice, in addition to what we've done so far. We have a US company, right, that is expecting to receive, so it's going to receive 300,000 euro from a customer, and that's happening in 1 month. So there's a delay. So there's an exposure to fluctuation of exchange rate between euro and dollar because it's a US company. And at the same time, it's due to make 200,000 euro payments. You can see it, and this is happening in 3 months. So it's also exposed in another 3 months for payment of 200,000, and that means it's gonna be thinking what would exchange rate would be between dollar and euro. So because there's a time lag, there's an exposure. Now we're asked to calculate the amount of dollars, the dollar amount that this guy needs to close each of those transactions, and we've been given the 1 month forward quote and 3 month forward quote. And look at the quote system they've given us in a spread form. So remember, the first step is we need to standardize the quote. So let's get that done quickly. So 1 month forward quote should actually be minus 0.012 and plus 0.012. So which means we're going to add And let me tell you, dollar ratio pounds is the same thing as dollar/pound. So this still remains your first currency and this remains your second currency. Please don't get rattled. It's still the same thing. So, but this is spread, so which means we're going to have 1.415 minus 0.0012. And that will give us a buy rate for 1 month to be 1.4138 to 1.415 plus 1.415 plus 0.0012. And that will give us 1.4162. 1.4162. And still we're talking of dollar/euro. Right. So, like I always say, that's the first thing you must think about. You must know your code system. So now we have the standard code system. The next thing that we need to ask ourselves is interpretation. Yeah, remember interpretation. So you need to interpret it. So what we're saying is that bank will buy €1 for $1.4138, and bank will sell €1 for $1.4162. Then company need. What does the company need? Two needs from the company. Let's deal with the first one. Let's call it A. They want to receive euro. So which means the company is going to receive €300,000 in 1 month. And this is a US company. So it doesn't need that euro that it's going to receive. So we know that this guy is going to be selling the euro. So company will be selling euro. And the second thing the company will be doing is it needs to make payment of euro. So it will sell euro in 1 month, which is the first one. Then in 3 months, it needs to make a payment. So which means it will need to buy euro because it's not a European company. So it needs to go and buy euro from the bank to be able to make that payment. But that will happen in 3 months. So we need to deal with these two scenarios. Yeah. Very good. So let's deal with the first scenario. Company wants to sell euro. So if company is selling euro to the bank, luckily this time around, euro is now our second currency. So we are good. So if company is selling, so let's write it. Company wants to sell euro, which means bank will buy the euro from them. And that will be at what rate? Bank is going to buy euro. See it at 1.438. So we've been able to pick the right rate. So $1.438 for euro. So this is the rate we're using. In that case, we know that $1.4138 is equivalent to €1. Whereas the company needs to sell how much euro? 300,000. So we need to know the equivalent of 300,000 euro. And that will be 1.4138 multiplied by 300,000, then divided by 1. And let's press it on the calculator. 1.4138 multiplied by 300,000. That gives us $424,140. This is dollar side. Remember this dollar side and this euro side. Right. So this is the dollar amount. It's as easy as that. Let's look at the B part, which is company needs to buy euro. Remember, we're using 1.438 because this is 1 month quote that we're dealing with. Now, let's deal with the second part, which is the 3 months. Yeah. So which is company needs to buy euro in 3 months. So B is that company needs to buy euro. You don't need to write all this detail down in exams. It's just for you. If you need to write it, it's fine. But by the time you start practicing like this, it comes to you naturally. But even if it takes you to go to the exam or like this, please write it like that so you don't miss it. You get your mark 100%. You can score 100% in FM, right? I have someone that I know that scored 100% even in AFM. Yeah, company needs to buy euro, in 3 months' time. So let's get our standard code first, which is our first step. So we need to deduct and add 0.0015. So let's do the buy rate first, which is 1.443 minus 0.0015. And that will give us a buy rate of 1.4415 and a sell rate of 1.443 plus 0.0015. And that gives us 1.345. Still dollar per euro. So we have our standard quotes. Then interpretation. So bank will buy 1 euro. Remember, you always interpret from the base currency and also sell 1 euro at the buy rate of $1.4415 and at the sell rate of $1.4445. So we know that. Then company needs. What does the company need? Company needs to buy euro. Company wants to buy euro. So company. Please don't make mistake and say bank. It's company need. Company buys euro. And company buying euro, good, is our second currency, means that bank is going to sell euro to the company. This is where it ends to pick the right code. So at what rate will bank sell? That's the interpretation. Bank is going to sell 1 euro. You can say, so bank will sell at $1.4445 for 1 euro. And once we know that, our problem is solved. This is equivalent to 1 euro. Then we need 200,000 euro. So that will give us 1 point. This is dollar, remember? 5 multiplied by 200k divided by 1. Let's see what that gives us. That will give us $88,900. So which means this is the amount of dollars that the company needs to sell to buy 200,000 euro from the bank. And that is it for this question and forward transaction. It is as easy as that. Why people struggle to get it correctly is the interpretation of quotes. After this, we'll go into money market edge. If you have any question, please put a comment, ask me. I'm here to break it down for you. Most importantly, please remember to like, share, comment, and let me know how you feel about this. Until then,